early game, mid game, late game, high ground or low ground. These are all stages of a Fortnite game that you must master if you want to improve. And in this video, I'm going to give you the strategy that Gambit2, who is a professional Fortnite player, uses to get really good placements in his tournaments. The tips in my videos cannot be found anywhere else on YouTube, so do yourself a favor and subscribe as I upload videos every day that are designed to help you improve as fast as possible. With that said, let's begin. To do well in Fortnite, you need to understand the map, and I know you've been playing on it for the last 8 seasons, but you still might not fully understand it. So what I decided to do was analyze for drop spots. Now I'm not going to be talking about drop spots in this video, it's just an important key topic. And what I decided to do was analyze 10 games, just random games from Cash Cup tournaments. They were all from the top 100 players of that tournament. I went from random different Cash Cups, and this is what I came up with, okay? I looked at where everybody landed in the replay file, and I came up with the most contested drop spots, some that are okay, and then some that are really good. So I'm going to pass you over to Fortnite.gg, and I've outlined them all. I'm not going to talk too long about them. I'm just pointing them out. You can take a screenshot, do what you got to do, and let's go and do that right now. Alright boys, so you can see right here on screen is I've got blue, I've got red, and I've got orange. I'm pretty sure you know the way this goes. Blue basically means it is a great drop spot. You should definitely land there. You should definitely incorporate it into your game. It's very uncontested. And one thing you can tell from looking at all of the blue, it tends to be on the outside of the map because people don't land on the edges as often as you think. And this is all taken from solo Cash Cups, by the way. None of these are from trios. If you want a video like this for trios, you're going to have to break that like button and comment trios down below, and I will bring it. But you can see the bottom left right here is the most uncontested place for solos, but it's right beside the bottom right corner, which is kind of one of the most contested places. So it's like night and it's like day. It's the complete opposite. And there's some good pockets up here where just blue spots where it's great for placement players. Orange is where I would recommend if you want to get a few kills off spawn, but you don't want to psycho your game. So these orange spots right here, like we've got one up here. This is a pretty common drop spot. A lot of people actually landed up here. Down here is pretty common as well in this corner. It's not stacked. It just means that there's 1 or 2 players landing at each of these, okay? It's not like heavy contested. Up here though, when you got the red spots, like your Pleasant Parks, your Believer Beaches, it's pretty obvious why they're being contested. Your corny complexes. Here I've marked red off my own intuition because people key here all the time. Not a lot of people land here, but it's just not a lot. It's not a good place to be, okay? You'll land here uncontested, but people from all around the map key into here mid game, and it's very hard to rotate out of here when people are rotating into here. So I just marked it red off my own intuition, but everything else on this map I have marked off stats, okay? And what is most contested down here in Weeping Woods, you're averaging about 3 to 4 players dropping here. Here, I don't even know. It's just stacked. That's the only word. Like, you can't count them. It's just stacked. Staying down here in, what's it called? Misty Meadows, pretty stacked. Actually, on screen up in the top right now, I will... So, all of that makes sense, right? Because now you know where's a good spot to land and where's a bad spot to land. And it's based off statistics. It's not based off anybody's opinion. It's based on straight facts that I've came up with. Okay, I've found and researched all of this very, very intensely. It actually took me probably about 3 or 4 hours to figure out all of this and actually get the process of marking it out. But with that, I think it was worth it. It brought value to you guys. I want to move on to the next topic right now, which is mid-game. And again, I'm going to reference us straight back to Fortnite GG. So let's keep it rolling. So this graph on screen right now is going to help you understand where you need to be rotating in mid-game depending on what you're looking for. So some people will be looking for kills, and they should probably rotate in this orange sector right here. And I'm going to explain it a bit more in depth right now. But then you obviously have your people who are looking for placement. Where do you think they should rotate? It's pretty obvious they should be rotating in this green area because it's the least contested. I'm going to explain why this is, all right? So mid-game, what happens, right? So off spawn, okay, off spawn. Let's just say Timmy lands here at this little ice cap building, okay? He lands here. What is he going to do? Okay, no matter where the zone pulls, he is going to generally rotate this direction. Why? Because it's towards the center of the map, and people subconsciously do that. Now, he might not take that path. I cannot tell you which pathway he's going to take. He might go up here, and then he might go this way, and then he might go this way. He might go down to Misty Meadows, and then he might swim over here, and then he might go over here, and then he might go over here. It doesn't matter. They're all working their way towards the dead center, okay? And that's a subconscious thing that everybody does in Battle Royales. And I've learned that from actually playing Warzone. Warzone is a very much similar Battle Royale to this, other than the fact there's no building and there's a shit ton of hackers. But that aside, it's the same fundamental. You go towards center. And that's what everybody tends to do. So, when everybody is rotating towards center, off spawn this is, okay? So they're leaving their drop spots and they're rotating in. Okay, when everybody on the outer side of the map starts moving their way in, okay, what does that do? It creates what's known as space. There's nobody out here on this outer line anymore because they've all went in here. They've all went inwards towards the center. So it means the outside of the map is more not contested. It's more free for you to rotate in. And definitely if you're trying to do placement, that's the way you need to treat it, is playing this green area right now. Now obviously if you're trying to pick up a few kills, we've got the spots in the orange area of the map. So we've got this kind of build, and we've got Believer Beach. Believer Beach mid-game, you can still pick up a few kills. Off spawn, this would be considered a red hot spot, but it's mid-game. So there's not going to be as many people here. And then obviously up here again in Pleasant Park, obviously if you want a few kills as well down in Lazy Lake. But nothing will be as contested as dead center in mid-game. I'll tell you now, like right here, this spot right here, Boney Burbs, why will that be the most contested? Because like I said, everybody's rotating from the edges inward. So when you have the teams from right here come in, you have the teams from Believer Beach come in, you have Pleasant Park teams, they all kind of generally are rotating in this direction because it's the nearest POI in the center to all of them. So they all interconnect to this one, and there's usually a big ass fight right here. That's why when I key aggressively, this is where I'll go. This is the hottest spot on the map, hands down. Hotter than everywhere else in this red spot is right here. Guaranteed, hands down. No explanation needed. With that said, you obviously want to know a bit more about Endgame. I feel like I've explained mid-game very simply. I'll bring you into Endgame and the same thing applies, and it's going to be very, very nice. There's one very important thing that you need to understand when playing Endgames, and that's that you always want to be as center as you possibly can be. And me, a person who's VOD reviewed a lot of pro players, I've seen some of the top tier players play as center as possible, but I've also seen people play on the edge of zone. And it is an opinion based thing, okay? People will have opinions where they play better on edge and they understand how edge zone works better. But I'm telling you, if you can understand how to actually play center as, like, just, I'm going to explain it. Enough said. I'm going to hop onto Fortnite GG again. Let's go. So this is just a quick concept I drew up of the way zones work throughout the game. Now this is a pretty accurate zone. It's not 100%, but it's definitely pretty accurate. And there's one thing I want you to understand, okay? Is that zones go down in thirds. So for example, this big zone right here, the first zone, that is 3 out of 3. So 3/3. It's a whole, okay? It's a full zone. This one right here is 2/3. Okay, 2/3. This one here is 1/3. So the first 3 zones go down by 33%. So this zone right here is 33% smaller than this big zone. This 3 shit is messing me up saying 3 all the time because I pronounce it like a tree. But moving on, okay? This one right here is 66% smaller than the biggest zone. And that's very important to understand because it makes it very easy to predict. That's why when I'm playing, I'm literally like a calculator when I'm in tournaments trying to figure out where the zones are. It's very easy for me to understand where they are. And I go off this one simple phenomenon, right? For zone 1, 2, and 3, if you play dead center, roughly, okay? Look at this. Imagine just being here, in this box. That's dead center of that box. But if you're anywhere in that box, imagine how chilling you are for zone. And this works every time. This is not like a chance thing. This one here, you can predict the first 3 zones. It will work exactly like this every single time. Okay? As far as moving zones, they're harder to predict. Okay? They're very hard to predict. But this right here, for first, second, and third, playing dead center, I would actually love to get an example for you guys. If I do, I will stick it in, but I don't think I have the time. But literally, you can do this very easily. I suggest you right now, if you have me on your second monitor, if you have me on your phone, turn on your PlayStation, turn on your PC, and go and do this in an arena game, and it will work 1000%. That's how accurate I am right now. That's how accurate I am. I'm 100% on this. When it comes to moving zones, it's a bit less predictable. Okay, so we understand that we can predict the first 3 zones. Let me get rid of this right now, okay? We don't need this. But when you split this down the middle, okay? When you split this down the middle, like so, this is exactly down the middle. Not exactly, but it's close enough, right? The way this zone here, this pink one, the way this works is it will spawn in any one of these corners. So if I take out what color would look nice? White. So if we have a white over here, we have a white over here, and we have a white over here. Now in this scenario, it's spawned in this corner. Okay, and that's the way it will work every single time. So again, you want to be dead center. You want to be dead center because if you're dead center right up in here, I'm going to use pink. If you're just dead center in this box, right? This is you. You're somewhere in this area. Look how free it is. Look how free it is. You won't get any pulls. You will never get a pull by being dead center. What enables you to do is you have the same distance to every single zone. Every single one of those 4, you have the same distance, and it's not a far distance that you have to run. It really isn't. So you should definitely be playing dead center again in this zone. So when third pulls, you reactivate yourself, okay? So I don't know if that's a fucking word, bro. Reactivate. That's a new word, bro. Encyclopedia, that shit. But like we said, dead center for you was somewhere here where I marked it a minute ago. Was somewhere here. So what you need to do is like reevaluate where center is. When third zone comes, you're like, okay, get center in third, and you run to here. Okay, and you get center, and then the next zone pulls. You don't necessarily have to get dead center of this one. It does help, but this pull here, this half and half pull is crazy. This half and half pull is crazy. So again, playing center does make it easier because that half and half pull can pull anywhere. So I'm just going to rub everything out right here. And this half and half pull, it's the same kind of concept. We get a nice little plus down. So this splits down the middle. That is pink. We do not want pink. We want the black. And this splits down the middle. This zone right here. Okay, splits down the middle. And the same concept applies. This little circle can spawn in half and half on either corner. Now, it's not accurately every single corner. It could be a bit over or a bit over to the left. It's not accurate there, but it's just a general idea. And it pulls somewhere here. So like when it pulls like that, it's the same concept of like, okay, if I was dead center, I can easily rotate to either one of these. Sure, if I was to be here, sitting right here, I get zone, I get the pull. But the thing is, there's a let me do maths over here, bro. Let me do maths here. There's a 25% chance that you get the pull. You know why there's a 25% chance? Because if I was to put like 1/4, okay, there's 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 1/4 here. There's 1/4 here. That's 2, fuck. 1/4, 1/4. And then another 1/4, that would give us 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. That's the full zone. So by you only using 1/4, 1/4, it's 25% chance you get pulled by being here. If you're dead center, you will never get the pull. You will never get it. But what you do know is that you have exactly 300 to 400 meters to run. I would take it. 300 to 400 meters. And that's to get on the center of it. Okay, that's to get like within the center of each one of these, like right here. So you might not even want to get there. You might just want to pull up on the edge, which is a 200-meter run every single time. I am done with this video. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you understand the zones a lot more. All I ask is that you become a member if you want to get coached. And if you don't want to get coached, like the video. It helps me out a bit. Drop a request for a video. Ask a question down below. I appreciate it all. I have a playlist on screen right now where I VOD review top tier pros. You will definitely enjoy it. With that said, I'm gone.